Hey, it's Secrets of Lego Universe live from Colorado, and we're back with Jordan Itkowitz. Itkowitz. And what can you tell us? I played through this today a little bit before it came out, but what can you tell us about the new Ninjago content that's coming out?
So we had a really great opportunity from LEGO to take a very popular toy line, Ninjago is very popular, and bring it into LEGO Universe in a really exciting way. And we did some of that back in January with Crux Prime, but the release that we're about to put out is way bigger, and it takes influence from the toy line, from the TV show, and then we've expanded that universe within our game as well, so you're going to see a lot of stuff that is brand new to fans of Ninjago.
Very cool. So what's the world like? I mean, what do you do?
So as soon as you join a faction and go to Nexus Tower, we let you go directly to Ninjago. And it's a brand new world. There's a giant Ninjago monastery where Sensei Wu and all the ninjas are. And outside on this battlefield is a siege with skeletons attacking the monastery, and they're launching big balls of Maelstrom energy at the walls, and they've got siege shields that they're hiding behind, and they're all geared up in Maelstrom armor and have Maelstrom weapons, and that's all from Maelstrom crystals that they mined on Crux Prime. So if you played through that content in January, you kind of figured that out as you went. But inside the monastery, there are dojos for the four elements: earth, lightning, ice, and fire. There are caves below the monastery with secret shrines that have the four golden weapons. You're going to learn all the spinjitzu.
That you can use, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can use all four forms of spinjitzu. They all do different stuff against the skeletons. Some of them do damage over time. Some of them freeze the skeletons in place. You can also use spinjitzu to travel around the environment in really interesting ways using some new mechanics that we've introduced. So it's a really cool, very long adventure.
Yeah, so if you are bored with the worlds that are there now, but you're still not level 40, or actually when this comes out, there's going to be a level 45. So if you don't want to do missions there's going to be a whole new world, and there's so many missions there that you're probably going to get your U-score pretty fast, because it's very fun.
There's probably over 20,000 U-score that you can get from doing all the missions and achievements and dailies in Ninjago. It's over 100 missions alone, not including achievements and dailies, which is the biggest of any release that we've put out so far. So yeah, a ton of content to go through. Lots of new weapons and gear to find, lots of cool rare drops. You can craft consumables at one of our vendors. Yeah, it's going to keep you guys really busy for a long time.
Yeah. And as I played through that today, I know that it's really, really cool. You get to fight the four skeletons that are masters of the elements, and then you get the golden weapon. And isn't there an instance?
Yeah. So you're going to fight Bonsai and Chop-Off and Crazy in the shrines when you try and protect the golden weapons, but the last shrine where the Sword of Fire is being kept is actually a boss instance where you fight against Frackjaw, and he's commanding waves of all the different kinds of skeletons that you've encountered throughout the adventure. And so that's an instance where you can play it by yourself, or you can play it with up to 4 players, and we've even tuned it so that it gets harder if you go in there with more players and you have different chance to drop better gear. Some of the really cool gear that'll drop in that instance are the DX kits. Yeah. So you'll get the regular Ninjago kits when you go through the core mission progression. You'll get those directly from Cole, Jay, Zane, and Kai. But if you want their really cool DX outfits, you have to go into the Frackjaw instance and find them there.
Do you get to fight Lord Garmadon?
So you'll see Lord Garmadon at the beginning of the Ninjago adventure, but then you won't actually get to fight him until the next release, and that's when we're going to tie everything up with a trip into the Fire Temple, and that's going to be really exciting.
Cool, yeah. So, what about, do you get to ride the dragons?
Unfortunately, we don't have the big dragons, but you will be able to have a dragon of your own. You'll be able to tame an Earth Dragon pet in this new release that's coming soon, and then we'll have the other dragons, Lightning, Ice, and Fire, in the next release.
Awesome. So, and there's a bunch of new skeleton enemies. There's Skeleton Wolf.
Yeah, the Bone Wolf.
Yeah, the Bone Wolf. The what are some of the other ones?
There's every skeleton, like I talked about before, is armored with Maelstrom armor and Maelstrom weapons, and you can get all those weapons from the skeletons. And together with a Paradox scientist and help from Jay in the monastery, you can purify those Maelstrom weapons into some really powerful elite weapons that have some really cool Ninjago stats. As far as the other skeletons go, so there's like a skeleton marksman he's got a crossbow and he shoots at you, but then he'll also spin around in place and send out like a spread attack. There's the Bone Wolves. There's a mad scientist down in the caves. They have a Maelstrom gun that shoots you and that poisons you with Maelstrom energy, and then you have to either get a heart to pop out of a Smashable, or you can take Imaginate herbs that you can buy from one of the vendors and you can cure yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to continue suffering damage to your armor or health until you get cured.
Cool. So, what else can you tell us about this release? What else is coming with Ninjago?
So, I mean, we've talked a lot about what was already in there. I mean, the big summary is just it's a huge new adventure that you can go to as soon as you join a faction. So it's on par with Gnarled Forest. But over 100 missions, achievements, dailies, all 4 forms of Spinjitzu. You can use Spinjitzu to do skills and travel around the environment. Brand new kits for rank 1 and 2 for all the Ninjago gear. Lots of other types of weapons, brand new consumables, 2 model sets, the Earth Pet. It just keeps going on and on and on. And then, like I said, level 45. So if you play through all the Ninjago content, you'll be well on your way to getting there.
Really cool. So, with the Frackjaw instance, what toughness level, if you go in alone, what is the toughness level? Can you compare them to Rue Morgue or...
It's probably not going to be as tough as Rue Morgue. Again, because you can get to Ninjago earlier in the game, if you've played through, and you have to play through, the entire Ninjago content progression, you'll probably be around like level maybe 17 or 18, maybe 20 by that point. And because all the gear that we drop in Ninjago is specifically tailored to fight the skeletons, your other gear that you've been collecting, your rank 2, your rank 3 gear, isn't as effective. And so by the time you get through the adventure, you're going to be ready to fight him. It is a tough battle for one player. There's no question about that, because it's the final battle of the Ninjago content. And we wanted to make it, though, so if you go in with 3 other friends, it's not going to be super easy now. It's actually harder, but the drops are better.
Cool. So, what happened with the storyline there? Because I know now Sensei Wu is back in his monastery, and there's somebody else in his place on Crux Prime at the ruins.
Yeah, so Sensei Wu is in the monastery. He has a Ninjago guardian named NATO that he's asked to go there in his stead and keep an eye on the skeleton mining efforts. And so if you haven't solved that mystery yet, you'll be able to go to Crux Prime, meet up with NATO, and he's wearing the Imagination gi, pants, and hood that you got as rewards if you do go through the mission chain. He'll give you a new Imagination weapon. It's a big double-bladed dagger. If you've already done that content, you'll automatically have it in your inventory when you patch. Otherwise, it's brand new. Sensei Wu will give you the Imagination staff when you get to the monastery. And so we're treating all that Crux Prime content as an optional prologue. If you do it, you'll get more into the story, and you'll obviously get the skeleton dragon pet and all the other cool rewards that are tied to that content. But if you just start with the Ninjago content on that world, you'll have a completely awesome experience by itself.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Yeah.